If you do not understand how to love yourself, you don't understand how to love anyone else because you've not practiced it back home. If you practice toxic love with yourself, how do you expect that you are going to be able to practice real love or receive real love, healthy love from anyone else when you love yourself in a toxic manner? So that's all you've programmed yourself to receive. That's all you know is the toxic. You don't know any different. So you wouldn't know it if you bit you in the butt until you learn how to love yourself. You cannot possibly love anyone else, but healthy love to others and then receiving healthy love back is going to be a foreign concept until you learn to love yourself in a healthy way. Hey, happy new moon, happy new moon, happy new moon. Today, as I'm recording this, is the 17th of July. In the year they tell us is 2023. And it is the new moon in Cancer. Today is also the day that the nodes move, right? The nodal axes moves from Taurus and Scorpio into Aries and Libra. And so let me tell you, this is a very auspicious new moon and a very lively day. Okay, this is a crazy day. So we're going to get right into the chart itself. By the way, my name is Dr. Lisa Burr. This is Heart of Inspiration. Thank you so much for being here. Like, share, and subscribe. This is a time, I titled this Self-Love is Not Selfish for a very big reason. Being a Cancer, my birthday was just yesterday, July 16th. So being a Cancer, I understand the need of a lot of us, right? And especially right now during this season where we wanted to make sure that the home is great. Everybody's fine. Life is good for everyone, right? And it's all like gravy. But the reality of it is we have to remember that self-love is not selfish. There's a lot of us that will put everybody else's needs ahead of our own. And we won't do what we need to do in order to take care of ourselves. Instead, we make sure that everybody else is good, everybody else is great, everybody else is da-da-da-da. And we don't take enough time for self-love. The greater good is of greater importance. And what I believe and what I know to be true now is that if you do not take care of yourself, right, you cannot take care of anyone else. If you do not understand how to love yourself, you don't understand how to love anyone else because you've not practiced it back home. If you practice toxic love with yourself, how do you expect that you are going to be able to practice real love or receive real love, healthy love from anyone else when you love yourself in a toxic manner? So that's all you've programmed yourself to receive. That's all you know is the toxic. You don't know any different. So you wouldn't know it if you bit you in the butt until you learn how to love yourself. You cannot possibly love anyone else, but healthy love to others and then receiving healthy love back is going to be a foreign concept until you learn to love yourself in a healthy way. Now, that being said, for the next year and a half, roughly, while the nodes are in Aries and the North Node is in Aries, the South Node in Libra, you're going to have an opportunity and probably be pushed in a direction you had not anticipated, in that you are going to have to look at how you dealt with yourself. For the last 2 years at least, almost every full moon, almost every new moon, it has been, hey, you might want to look at those relationships. Hey, you might want to look at those partnerships. Like, we've literally been dealing with that. You might want to look at these contracts. Taurus and Scorpio are a lot about relationships, contracts, collaborations, or should I say, how one works with another person, how we work with one another. When do we leverage other people, Scorpios, other people's resources, and then when do we need to fall back and just really rely on our own resources, Taurus. So that's what we've been doing all for like the last year and a half. So I hope that you've gotten that down. Because if you haven't, this is about to be a real crash course, real quick. So all of my Aries suns, moons, I would say risings, and all of my Libra suns, Libra moons, Libra risings, those with strong Libra placements, strong Aries placements, we're in for a wild ride. So you just better buckle it up, child, because here we go. Okay, let's do this here, this way. All right, here we go. Let me go expand this a little bit. Let's get into the chart. I'm not going to hold y'all for forever. I'm going to blow this up and we'll move it around. This is the big kahuna. Now I'm going to put this in purple. This is what's happening at 24 degrees Cancer. The moon and the sun are conjunct, meaning that the luminaries are together. They're in unification. If you were born on this day, you would actually be a Libra rising, which is kind of intense over here. You'd actually be a Libra rising with technically a Libra first house because it starts here. And you'd be, wow, that's really intense. You'd have similar placements to what I have, but you would also, though, have your sun and your moon in opposition to Pluto in retrograde. And I don't think a lot of us have paid attention to this. You know, Pluto did ingress into Aquarius earlier this year, and then it went back into retrograde. And Plutonian retrogrades are quite long, quite lengthy. It's very slow moving. And so it really won't be till later on this year, that Pluto goes back ingresses again into Aquarius, and we really do finally start seeing this personal and global transformation of Pluto in Aquarius. So we really don't really know what that looks like. We got a taste of it earlier this year. But with Pluto being in retrograde at 29 degrees, so it's not dead smack on in opposition, but it's within 4 degrees. So that's super close. I apologize for the dog. I'm back home if you can't tell. If you saw me in the last couple of weeks prior to this, I was in LA. And so, yeah, so I'm back home with dogs and cats and children and grandchildren. Anyway, a Plutonian retrograde in Capricorn is, again, another opportunity for us to really look at how societal rules, societal mores, government, structure, religious and otherwise, like all the structures that govern our world, business, everything, how it's relating to us, how we're relating to it, and what do we need to do to transform to either operate in it in a greater, in an easier capacity, or just kind of extricate ourselves from it. Like, is it something we should be holding on to? Is it a wheel, in the words of Daenerys Stormborn? Should we be breaking the wheel rather than just continuing to let the wheel run, turn and turn and turn and trying to make the wheel better? Or instead, should we be smashing and obliterating the wheel? Shout out to Game of Thrones. So this is an opportunity for us to do that with this being in opposition, right, to this. It is literally illuminating it. It is literally saying, because this is in your ninth house of higher learning, higher education, personal philosophy, like all of that stuff, right? And then this is going on in our third house, right? Thought, the Gemini house, right? Thought, decision, quick thought, like intellect, that sort of thing. So from an intellectual perspective, we're looking at intellectually, wait a minute, we've been doing some transformations. We thought some things were true. We were fed some stories. Some stories go way back. Some stories are new. Like, what the heck? What's going on? And we're really looking at that right now and how it's relating to us, how we're relating to it. Did we buy into something too much? We thought we were going to be at a different place in our lives at this juncture. We thought that we were going to, either be making like way more money or just in a different position, right? Have a better relationship, whatever. And we're looking at ourselves and saying, we're not. That's not what's happening. And now we want to work to attain. Now we're saying we need to really attain this higher vibrational level of life. But certain things have held us back. Certain societal, global, mundane, if you will, mundane meaning global, earthbound, structure of any type has been holding us back. But we've chosen to participate in the tomfoolery. We've chosen to participate in the foolishness. And now this is saying, I'm not, the energy right now, if I could really talk to you for a second, that I'm hearing everywhere, that I'm feeling, that I'm sensing, that I'm living out even myself is I can't do this anymore. I can't be what everybody else wants me to be. I won't be what everybody else wants me to be. I won't do it. It is not fulfilling to me. It is not of my highest good. It is not of my highest calling. It is not of my highest purpose. I need to live my life the way that I'm meant to live my life. And I can no longer continue, right, to allow society's rules. And I'm not saying like screw the government, but you know what? If there's certain governmental rules, state laws, whatever the case is, that don't agree with me anymore, that I don't like, I'm like, okay, this is not cool. That either I'm moving the state or I'm doing something. Like I'm not dealing with it anymore. I'm just not dealing. And it's probably more so religious rules and dogmatic rules than anything else. And that could be within the spiritual community or the religious community, right? So this is just that time where we're just like reviewing all of it and we're like, wait a minute, right? And this new moon is saying that, right? We're able to remove our emotions about it, and the emotions take a little bit of a back burner to get a reset based on, and so that we can then take our energy and set it in the right motion. Okay. Now, the major things that are happening though, Venus is stationary retrograde as of this week in Leo. So here we go. What do you love? Who do you love? How do you love it? What the heck's going on here? It is going to conjoin Mercury at some point very quickly, because Mercury is a fast moving son of a gun. So while it's stationary retrograde and or before it goes into retrograde, those two are going to collide, so to speak, in Leo. So not only, and that's in the 10th house, right? From if you were born today, that would be in the 10th house. So that not only is happening, but it's like really illuminating, like, do we want to be known for what we're doing, and do we really love what we're doing right now? Do you love it? Is it making you feel like the grand poobah? Is it making your inner lion and lioness roar? Is it positioning you to be king and queen of the jungle? Or is it, ain't really doing much for me? And if it's meh, it's time to change it. You could be looking at the relationships and everything. Is it serving you? And is it elevating you and motivating you? If you are in any type of relationship, I mean any type of relationship that is not motivating you, you need to evaluate that relationship. I don't care if it's a friendship, your family ship, your situationship, your romantic partnership. I don't care what it is. Business partnership. I don't care what it is. If it is not motivating you, you need to reevaluate it. If it's not moving you forward and not elevating your resonance, your energetic set point so that you're like, yes, right? I mean, you don't have to technically be yes all the time. I'm not saying that, but you need to be like motivated to do something. Also, this is going to be, are you ready to really show yourself out into the world? Like, get ready, because this is what you're meant to do in some way. But this is like getting you in preparation for your big debut. And I think some of you have been hiding behind the shadows like way too long. This is an initiator. So the sign of Cancer, right, is home, hearth. It is stability. It is family. It's that maternal, like, birthing. It is being totally and completely in touch with your emotions. And that's not a bad thing for the rest of those of you that want to say we're all emo and ish. Because let me tell you something. I might be emo, but I have manifested my life. I have manifested the life that I choose to live. And it's still unfolding because my manifestation is still growing. Why? Because I have the ability for gestation to happen. And I have the ability to keep that happen. I have the ability to give life and maintain that emotional, like, feeding. Not everybody can do that. Well, I shouldn't say that. You can do that if you choose to, but if you choose to disconnect from your emotions and say, I'm gonna get in too much water, then that's exactly what's going to happen. And so when your crops dry up and you don't get a harvest, don't come whining to me. Anyway, my point to this is this new moon is like, what is it? What do you truly want? What's going to bring you joy and peace and happiness? What are your dreams that you really want to grow? What has been withheld from you all this time that you are finally ready to move forward in? That you're finally willing to say, I'm doing this and nothing is going to stop me. That's what this is. This is a monumental moment. This is a stop making excuses and stop whining. This is I don't care if there's been 5 million other things that have happened externally that are outside of your personal control, because Pluto in Capricorn, you have the opportunity to take personal control and extricate yourself from the system, or at least elevate yourself beyond it, maneuver around it, do what you need to do, make whatever contracts, decisions, whatever partnerships need to be made in order for you to what? Prosper, in order for you to be what? Abundant, in order for you to what? Manifest the life of your highest good. But so many of you have continued to just make excuse after excuse after excuse. And at the end of the day, whatever is going on that is outside of your personal purview and control, you have probably, most likely, and in fact, have manifested it. So it is completely up to you to change your words, your thoughts, and your heart and recreate your world. That is the opportunity you are getting. This is the initiative for this to be happening on a new moon cycle in a 7-year 2023, on a 14, 15, on a 5-day, 6-day, wait, 7, it's the what is this? The 17th, 24th, 6-day. What is 6? That's the number of man, of human. 7 is God number. 6, human. 7, divine, resting, residing within the human, able to hold light, which makes it a 13, completely a 13-day, which makes it a 4-day, a day of peace and reconciliation after the heartbreak and fight. Today is the day that these are the decisions you make. Today is the day that you stop with the BS. Today is the day that man and God meet and say, this is what we are creating. Today is the day that your man, your God person, your human and your God, goddess, meet and say, today, this is what we're creating. That's what today is. That's what this new moon is. So we don't just need to, this is not just a 2-week cycle. Guys, this is an 18-month cycle, or however long the nodes are in. This is an 18-month cycle. Are you kidding me? This time next year, when we revisit this, what are you gonna have been doing with Aries, with the node in Aries, the North Node? Activating self, activating the Godhead in self, activating the I am presence. And actually the South Node, interestingly enough, I am looking at that South Node in Libra, less like we're going to revert back to bad habits and more like we can rest easy in being able to collaborate and joint venture and work with other people. We can rest easier in knowing that we are going to be executing or living in a just way and implementing justice in every area of our lives, and then therefore justice gets implemented in every area of other people's lives. Like, this isn't just a little something, right? This is a major shift. Now, Mercury is squaring off Jupiter today on the 17th, so it might feel in Taurus. So it might feel like you have I'm not gonna say you have a difficulty. I think you could be super bold and ready to like say, this is what I want, right? This is what I'm building. I think that's what's going to happen today. And then Venus and Mars, they're not really conjunct. But Venus is actually squaring off Uranus in as far as an aspect. So what you love and the changes that it's been taken for, like, it's been taking a very long time for these things to, you feel like it should be happening more rapidly than it is. So I'm just going to ask you to take a bit of a break. But I also think that this Venus stationary retrograde squaring off Uranus is, and going retracking its pathway in Leo, like it's going to be fully contained in Leo. It's not going back over into Cancer. It's going to stay completely in Leo. So this really is all about like you. This is really all about the pride, the ego. What are you showing in the world? All of this. And pride and ego are not a bad thing unless they're running amok. So that's, I don't want you to necessarily like get overcome with the urge to change everything. And I don't want you to get frustrated with yourself, completely frustrated that you're not in the position you thought you'd be in. But this is yet another reminder of I don't possess what I really thought I would be possessing at this moment. Let me do what I'm supposed to do to get it. Like, get to work. Like Britney's, work bitch comes to like, go listen to Britney's song. Britney Spears, for those of you who are too young to know or too old. And then the new moon is then also, though, going to be sextiling, right? Uranus in Taurus, and it is also trining Neptune in Pisces, which is sextiling Pluto in Capricorn. Why is that like I think that's majorly cool, because what's happening, and I know Neptune's in retrograde in Pisces, like it's going to be out of Pisces soon. I'm actually going to miss Neptune in Pisces a little bit, and probably a lot of it, because it's made it so much easier for dreams to flow and things to happen, and it's just been it's been kind of chill. For some people feel like it's been like a completely delusional, like crazy, Doctor Strange, ride, but I kind of enjoy it. I am excited for it to go into Aries, although I'm kind of like thinking, Yeah, we could be end up with like some crazy despot or something like that in there. But anyway, that's a whole different story. Um, but for this, then this is like, okay, we're still here. We still have the dreams. We still have the highest good. We still have all that information here. We're cool in the game. We're chilling, right? We're chilling like a villain. We're cool. Um, and we're just going to give you a little bit more time to get it together. And we're going to work a little bit harder and making sure that these structures come down and how that we're relating to these structures, that we do realize that the power that they have held over us has been nothing but an illusion. And then all at the same time, initiating something that is so perfect for us and is so unashamedly and unabashedly perfect for us. We're not apologizing for it all. It's beautiful. I think this is just going to be a very, very beautiful energy on this new moon. And then, last but certainly not least, we do have Mars in Virgo in opposition to, direct opposition, by the way, to Saturn retrograde in Pisces. To me, it feels like we're literally fighting for the health of the new structure that we're creating. It's that we're just so like, this has to happen. This has to happen now. I'm not taking no for an answer. None of it. Like, it is what it is. And I'd never want you to give that fight up. Never, ever, ever. So everything to me is converging to do what makes you the absolute happiest. Do what motivates you. Do what lights you up. If you don't know, identify it. If you got to stop making, this is the time to stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. And I know that for some people that's going to sound super harsh and you're going to say that's not an excuse, Lisa. These things happened. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you something. Short of relatives passing away, leaving you destitute, or someone like really harming you or whatever, like that kind of thing, like short of that, it's excuses. And you created the life that you're living, right? So you got to do what it is. You got to change your mindset, and you got to make the decision that you're going to stop loving yourself in a toxic manner, because that's why you continue to create toxic situations and situations that are not good for you. But that's a decision you have to make, but you're being empowered to do so. Hey, I want to thank you guys for coming. Listen, later on today on the 17th, so if you're watching this later, it would have already happened, of course. But later on the 17th at 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be doing an unboxing. I'm actually going to be unboxing 3 different decks. So the Global Fusion Intuitive Tarot. I'm so excited to unbox this and use that tonight. The Female Archangels Oracle. I'm super excited for this one as well. And the Amazonian Angel Oracle. This is going to be so cool. We're going to unbox those tonight. I'm going to actually use them to do some new moon readings. That's going to be in celebration of my birthday. So since my birthday was yesterday, I typically give back and give and do things like this. So come on back. There's going to be like, you'll be able to click and watch it or whatever too afterwards. And I appreciate you. Go out and do what you're going to do. I want you to give me, what are your dreams? Put your dreams, your aspirations, things that you feel have been holding you back, all of that. I want you to put that down in the comments below. Like, put that in the comments. I want to help you. I want to help give you some space, some ability to work through these things. I want to hold space for you. I want to and help guide you through releasing all of that information, all of that, right, stuff, so that you can live the life that you are meant to live, and you can live yourself. You live a life of self-love that is selfless. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you guys immensely. Love you guys so much. Mwah. Toodaloo. Bye-bye.